Hey guys, hey, I'm just gonna do the thing with the Bin Laden thing going on. I'm just gonna do a short little video, give you some information, stuff that you don't know of. I'm not saying if I don't know if it's true or not with them killing him. I just want you to get both sides of the information, not just what the White House wants you. I mean, President Obama stands in front of a camera for less than 10 minutes and tells you that Bin Laden is dead, and they give absolutely no proof, none, zero proof. So you take what you want, and believe what you want. But there's just a lot of other information out there that you guys just might want to know about and tell your friends about. But I also did this because a friend of mine texted me that day. It was yesterday. First, let me tell you the whole story when it started. Charles called me at 11:45, and Charles, you can call me anytime you want. Any of you guys can call me 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter, But I mean, I was in bed, and it's 11:45, and he's like, "Have you watched the news?" And I'm like, "No." And he said, "Obama has been shot and killed." And I jump up out of bed. I'm freaking out, trying to talk to him, half asleep. It's funny because I'm like, since I'm up and I got the cell phone to my ear, I go to the bathroom, and I'm like going to the bathroom and trying to talk to Sherry, and I'm peeing all over the floor because at this time I'm thinking the president has just been assassinated. And he talks about, no, they got him over in Afghanistan and they shot him. And I'm like, oh, you mean Bin Laden? And he's like, yes, Bin Laden. Like, so that's how my night started. That. Then a friend texted me, and she said that that she thinks that with Bin Laden dead, that it's only the beginning of things to come, and that she's worried about retaliation. But she sent it to me on a religious question. I think she's worried about things to come, and it made me start thinking about, things to come. And so just, a quick little stuff on the Bible, or what Jesus told us. You guys know with everything that's going on, it's all heading towards the end times. But in the Bible, Jesus tells us that we have to watch for signs. As Christians, believers, born-again believers, that it's our job to watch for the signs. And as Christians and believers, we will see the signs. When there are signs, we will recognize them as signs that he's coming. Non-believers will not recognize them. Non-believers, it'll just be an earthquake. It'll just be a bad storm. It'll just be fires and disease and all this. But believers recognize it as it's close to the time that Jesus is coming back. And I'm not saying he's coming back soon. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be for 1,000 years. But it could. But he clearly told us that we will not know a date or the time, the date, or the hour. Jesus clearly says that. But he says that we can watch for the signs, and that we will know it. And he did say to pay attention to things that come. But he was talking to his disciples. He compared it to sailors that watch the horizon, and they know if it's going to be, what the weather's going to be. And we have that same knowledge. We know what our weather's going to be. He said that we should, and he also told us that we should be looking for the signs. That we shouldn't just go by, every day we should look for signs. But you just figure out with the earthquakes, there's been 5 major earthquakes in the last month, including, or 2 months. Chile, Indonesia, Japan, and Australia, New Zealand. There's been there was new earthquakes here today. I just seen these today, that there was new earthquakes. Let me find it real quick here. From Belfast to Bucksport, Maine, in the United States, in Maine, there was many earthquakes, which is pretty, I don't know, just more signs. Comes to be wars and rumors of wars. There's so many wars and rumors of wars going on that even people can't even keep track of it. I mean, between Africa, all the Muslim countries, it's almost like a world war, but it's not a it's the whole world is at war, but not like one side against the other side. There's just all these little wars. With pestilence and disease is very bad and rampant. You don't notice it here, but like you go to South Africa, AIDS there is just worse now than it's ever been. You don't hear about it, but it is. There's countries in South Africa where some of the oldest people in the country are in their 20s because all the adults have died from HIV and AIDS. These are all birth pains, and Jesus said that this would happen. If you're interested in there's a guy on TV called Jack Van Impe. He's also on the radio, and he's a pastor, preacher, but he specializes in revelations and end times, and he's very smart and very knowledgeable. If you ever want to check him out, he's on Sundays at 11. He has a website, Jack Van Impe website. It's pretty interesting, a lot of information from it. But back to Obama and Osama bin Laden. I got to remember how to say it. There's just so much disinformation going on. The first thing you notice is no one's even talking about his birth certificate, which I was telling you stuff about that. I mean, there's been, since he first released it, there's been 3 versions of the one birth certificate that released in different news medias. I mean, what does that tell you? They have 3 different medias, and they have 3 different versions of his birth certificate. But that's not even being talked about now. With bin Laden, 9 times since 2001, he's been reported to be dead. And we'll go through these. Some of these times have been by top government officials that have said he's dead. But yesterday when he died, there was a picture release. The government released a picture which they said was a picture of bin Laden dead, shot. And he gave it to the BBC News and the U.S. news media. And a couple hours after they gave it to it, the news media realized that this picture was 3 years old. It was a fake picture made up 3 years ago. And they called the government on. The government's like, yeah, you're right. We're sorry. We gave you a wrong picture. And it's just disinformation like you would not believe. The fact that they dumped the body and nobody's seen is just crazy. Okay. But the first one, there's this guy named Steve Pisniak. He worked for Henry Kissinger. And Henry Kissinger has been involved in the government since I was a kid. And he was on an interview on a radio show, and he told the interviewer that bin Laden had been dead for months. This was in 2002, over 9 years ago. He told this interviewer that that bin Laden had kidney disease, and he needed to be on a dialysis machine every day. And this was known about bin Laden. Even right after 9/11, they knew about it. And he told this guy that bin Laden died, and that he was actually kept on ice, was his words. I don't know if they deep freeze them or something, the body to be used later if needed. This was said in 2002 of April, and you can find this. You just look in April 2002 interview with Steve Pisniak. Come to my site, Facebook page, and you'll see it where he says this stuff. And he says that, and they talk about these videos that bin Laden made that the CIA said was fake, was not bin Laden, that it was a bin Laden double, or that they were CGI or animated in a way. And this has been over the last 9 years as well. But so Pisniak was one, okay, and then there was another one in August of 2002.